So the Game Awards 2024 had its 10-year anniversary show today, and it was a blast. I'd go as far to say it's the best one so far. Good job, Jeff. I have always loved the Game Awards, not specifically the awards, but I'm always up for some game announcements. This year has been quietly a great year for video games, and we are probably looking forward to another banger year in 2025, and a night to celebrate it is always awesome. In this video, I'll talk about my favorite announcements and moments from the whole show. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Game Awards.
Speaking of diving, Dave the Diver DLC was the first announcement that really got me going. The show started super early where I live, 6:30 in the morning to be exact, and its freaking awesome music really got the blood flowing. Dev and his sushi-loving friends are going into the jungle for a new adventure and uncovering new mysteries. It's coming late 2025. Next up, Thick as Thieves. It's a PvPvE multiplayer stealth game set in the 1910s. It gave me a lot of Dishonored meets Thief meets Deathloop vibes. I don't play multiplayer games much, but the world and the art style of this game looks amazing. This really caught my eyes. I'm open to trying it out. There's no date announced for it yet though. At this point in the show, Astrobot won the Best Family Game and later ended up winning Best Game Direction as well. I was really rooting for Astrobot. It was my personal game of the year this year. I was content with the 2 nominations it won, having no expectation that it would end up winning the Game Awards. We will get to that. Next, we got a look at Rematch from Slow Clap Studios, the makers behind 2022's amazing beat-em-up, Sifu. Sifu was loved for its mesmerizing art style and its fast-paced gameplay, and that seems to be mirrored in Rematch. Some people are calling it FIFU. I'm a big fan of the FIFA games, and this is a 5v5 multiplayer football game. This looks amazing. I can't wait. Next up, we got to see Indiana Jones himself, Harrison Ford, on stage. He was accompanied by our gaming indie, Troy Baker. It was really nice to see both of them together on stage. A very heartwarming moment to say the least. I'm currently playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'll be putting out a review for it soon, so please subscribe and stay tuned with this channel. Then we got to see one of the biggest announcements as per the consensus, and that is The Witcher 4 from CD Projekt Red. We got a very in-depth look at the world that we will eventually explore, and the protagonist of this game is Ciri. The game is being developed using Unreal Engine 5, and of course, it looks insane. I still haven't finished Witcher 3 yet, but looking at this trailer, I'm curious to jump back in. CDPR has done wonders with Cyberpunk 2077 after the buggy mess that it was released as, so it is fair to say they are back with a bang. I can't wait to see more of this game in the coming years. The wording from Jeff Keighley made it sound like it's way further into the future than we originally thought. Then we got a glimpse at an untitled game from Gen Design, the makers behind legendary titles such as Echo, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. From the get-go, I knew these were the makers of Shadow of the Colossus because the atmosphere and the tone of the game was a big giveaway. We didn't get much information here, but it looks intriguing, and as a PlayStation fan, I cannot wait to see more. Next we had the legend of the Game Awards on stage, Joseph Fares.
Just want to say, in the trailer, they called me and Zoe, my daughters, it's their name. They're also in the audience. Put the camera, let them show how cute they are. There, hello! Yeah, of course, my wife is beautiful too, I don't forget to, of course.
We saw him return with his special choice of words and energy. He also announced another split-screen co-op game called Split Fiction. It is set to launch on Xbox Series X, S, PS5 and PC on March 6, 2025. It looks great, not my type of game, but it's always great to see Joseph Fares in the Game Awards. Next we saw Grand Theft Auto 6 winning the most anticipated game nomination. I mean, duh. The show has been so strong thus far. I honestly was expecting trailer 2 in this show, not gonna lie. I don't think Rockstar really cares about this award, but this was a funny moment in the show for me, worth mentioning. Next, we saw another really cool announcement called Project Century by the studios behind Yakuza Like a Dragon developer. This game is set in an incredible setting of 1915 Japan, and the combat seems incredibly fluid as well. This is one of the most standout announcements of this show. We don't have a release date for it yet, but I am looking forward to it. Then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Snoop Dogg on stage, and with his usual swagger. He also performed Thank You and Gin and Juice live on stage. I'm not at all excited for celebrities on these game shows, but we can't say no to Snoop Dogg.
On my money and my money on my mind. Thank y'all.
We finally got a trailer for The Last of Us Part 2, and it's coming to PC. I probably haven't said this on this channel before, but The Last of Us Part 2 is my favorite game of all time, so it's great to see it on PC. Hopefully it's not another broken port like The Last of Us Remastered release on PC. I don't have the hardware to probably run it on crazy resolutions, but I can't wait to see this game running on RTX 4090 or something on YouTube. It was also great to see Shannon Woodward, the voice of Dina from the game, and also Isabella Merced, the actor of Dina from the HBO show, together on stage. They cracked some jokes from Ellie's joke book, a very heartwarming moment as a fan of The Last of Us. They also announced the best adaptation, which Fallout eventually won. I'm not personally a fan of the Fallout games, but I love the show and I'm very happy for them. Then we got another brief look at Mafia: The Old Country, coming out next year. It is a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 1900s Sicily. I'm a little disappointed with this showing because we haven't seen much gameplay or a deeper look to be excited for it yet. But as a fan of the already existing trilogy, I can't wait to play it. It is still one of my most anticipated releases of next year. Next we have Jesse Pinkman, bitch, aka Aaron Paul, on stage together with the evergreen voice of gaming, Laura Bailey. They're working together on a new game called Dispatch. It is being developed by the Wolf Among Us devs. It looks really cool and it's coming sometime in 2025. Then we saw Sam Lake on stage, looking sharp as ever, to announce the winner of Best Narrative. He did this hilarious little thing in the Game Awards. I couldn't find a standalone footage of it to include here, but it was really awesome. And then Jeff came on stage for the final announcement, stating, "We have one more thing," from the industry's most celebrated developer. Preaching to the choir, it is Naughty Dog working on a new sci-fi franchise called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. My heart was racing, finally having a look at what my favorite game studio has been doing since 2020. We saw a pretty lengthy look at the world of this game, as it is set in thousands of years in the future, and our protagonist, Jordan A. Moon, ended up stranded on a distant planet, losing every possible connection with the universe outside, as she hoped to be the first person to leave its orbit in over 600 years. It looks incredible, and you can also see that it is heavily funded, as we saw Porsche spaceship, Adidas sneakers, etc. Jeff Keighley also mentioned that everything we saw in this trailer is running in real time, and I can't doubt that. Naughty Dog and Rockstar Games, in my opinion, are the only two studios in the world whose final game looks as good as their trailers. As a fan of The Last of Us and the Uncharted games, I can't wait to see more of this game. It was so awesome to see the Naughty Dog logo show up in a game show. It seems like the game is pretty deep into development, as it started back in 2020. After this, we saw the Game Awards Orchestra, which was insane this year, as it always is, to be fair. And then it moved on to the winner of 2024 Game Awards, and it is Astrobot.
And the game of the year is...
Astrobot!
I was rooting for it, as I already mentioned before in this video. Astrobot is such a love letter to PlayStation fans, and the game had such a healthy development. It is unseen in the industry. But I'm a little shocked that it won, because I asked my followers on Instagram what they think will win the Game Awards, and most of the answers were Black Myth Wukong. I'm not personally a fan of Black Myth Wukong, but yeah, I don't know. It's a surprising winner, but you can't say it's undeserving. To conclude, this year's Game Awards were amazing. The Game Awards is marketed as this celebration of games and the industry every year, and this year I honestly felt that way. As much hate Jeff Keighley gets every year, I think he deserves 10 times more praise for what he was able to pull off this year. Thank you so much for making this far into this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you liked what you saw. Do let me know your thoughts on the Game Awards, your favorite announcements, and your Game of the Year for 2024. Let's have a conversation down there. Thank you again. Rex Plays, signing off.
I just want to say thank you, jag älskar er. And thank you everybody, I love you so much. I'm looking forward to be part of this industry. I love everybody. Goodbye.